Hello everyone, and welcome to my UK Royal Family News channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives, DOOO. Spoilers for the 7-day stretch of August 14 to 18 uncover that Victor Kyriakis' plane accident will dive numerous Salamites into a troublesome grieving period. When Victor's troubling destiny is uncovered, it'll negatively affect a few central participants. That incorporates Sean Brady, who'll fault himself for Victor's end since his granddad was visiting Beau Brady's office. Since Sean as of now feels liable for Beau's extreme lethargies, he'll feel answerable so that Victor's outing might be able to see him finishing off with fiasco as well. Xander Cook will likewise battle with responsibility over not setting things straight with Victor while he actually could. The dissatisfaction might add to Xander's outrage as he goes head-to-head with Brady Dark over their common interest in Chloe Path. It seems to be Chloe will manage a few qualms about the sort of individual Xander is and whether this relationship can truly work long haul. Different days spoilers say Kate Roberts Brady will get a major shock, which ought to include Philip Kyriakis appearing in Salem for Victor's burial service. Philip might concede he's done his treatment in Europe, yet Kate might stress over the potential for an emotional well-being mishap because of Victor's unexpected passing. Then days spoilers say Lee Shin and Melinda Trask will get into a warmed contention about whether they ought to push ahead with a sentiment or quit attempting to make this work. Obviously, there's clearly a flash among Melinda and Lee that they can't deny, so this contention could prompt some energy emitting. Meanwhile, Abe Carver will continue his mayoral obligations, yet there'll be a few significant tangles en route. Since Abe can't recall his past in Salem, that will prompt more issues. After Johnny DeMura makes a pitch for a gathering, it could leave Channel feeling clashed. A piece of Channel will continuously think often about Johnny. However, she likewise feels something for Talia Tracker that she should genuinely investigate. Back with Melinda, she'll end up under outrageous tension on account of Stefan DeMura. Stefan could sort out that Melinda's leaving well enough alone that influences E.J. DeMura and push her to disclose what it is. Melinda committed to Sloane Peterson that she'd stay quiet about the paternity truth in regards to Nicole Walker's child, yet days spoilers say Stefan could make that troublesome. On Dmitry von Lischner's special night, nothing will go how he anticipated. Gwen Rischek is absent to the way that Dmitry wedded her for the legacy cash and is laying down with her closest companion as an afterthought, so she might hinder her significant other's arrangements. Dmitry had the nerve to purchase Leo Distinct a 5-star boarding pass to Iceland, and surprisingly, put him in a similar inn. At the point when Gwen finds Leo and Dmitry together on this vacation, it'll be Dmitry's problem for welcoming Leo and being so indiscreet. While Dmitry probably attempts to work right in the clear once more, Gabby Hernandez will acknowledge Rachel Dark as confidential. Gabby will attempt to make sure about precisely exact thing that mystery is and trust that she can maybe utilize it for her potential benefits soon enough. Whether that includes Rachel's information on Dmitry's sleepover with Leo or another mysterious that Rachel uncovers, Gabby will send off an examination and fish for any news she can figure it out. The 7-day stretch of August 14 to 18 will slow down with a glance back at some of Suzanne Rogers' best minutes as Maggie Kyriakis, so remain tuned for refreshes on her 50th DOOL commemoration episode. Days of Our Lives spoilers say a few significant confrontations, and it are coming up to shock improvements. Days of Our Lives spoilers uncover that Stefan DeMura and Gabby Hernandez will get an opportunity to partake in their lovebird status for some time. However, more show is going their direction at last. Days fans realize Vivian Alamain is stuck at Statesville, yet it's inevitable until she strolls free. Louise Sorrell has a rebound spell underway as Vivian, so we ought to feel free to consider what Vivian's mood will resemble when she returns. It's conceivable Vivian will get away. However, there will be more story amazing open doors assuming she's formally delivered. It appears to be reasonable Vivian will to be sure score her opportunity legitimately, and when that occurs, she might be feeling rather vindictive. Back in January, Vivian grumbled since Stefan had been alive again for quite a long time he hadn't come to see her. Gabby captured Stefan's call to Vivian when she was keeping him locked down for deprogramming. That prompted Gabby promising she'd ensure Stefan visited once 7 days after he had returned to typical. Be that as it may, Vivian wound up calling the landline to rodent Gabby out at any rate, so Gabby had no great explanation to help her. Obviously, Gabby presumably could not have possibly held up her part of the arrangement at any rate. Similarly, Stefan has been occupied with his own life now that he adored Gabby once more, so visiting Vivian in jail has been the keep-going thing at the forefront of his thoughts. Day's spoilers say Vivian will make herself difficult to disregard once she's free and definitely thuds herself at the Dimera Manor to start mischief. Vivian will presumably turn into a genuine aggravation for Stefan and Gabby, so they would be wise to be prepared for whatever once Gabby's mother by marriage releases some tumult. It seems as though Louise Sorrell started recording her return stretch back in spring, and Camila Banus wrapped up her own spell at Days on April 28. In light of the timing, it's conceivable Vivian's return could make way for Gabby to eventually make her DOL exit. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Vivian's rebound will bring a few shocks come what may, so remain tuned for refreshes on all the most recent projecting news. Days of Our recap for Wednesday, August 9, uncovers that Ava Vitali apologized to Harris Michaels and amazed him by appearing to be normal. Ava conceded the prescriptions worked quick and guaranteed Harris that her new explosion was nothing private. After Ava drilled down into her Charlie Dale pipe dreams, she enlightened Harris regarding Trip Johnson being taken from her as a child and how it prompted her being super cold to Charlie. Presently, Ava's PCPs thought her feeling of remorse was showing these Charlie dreams. Ava conceded a guiltless lady died due to her, and it wasn't whenever she first caused somebody's death. Harris figured out what that felt like and gave Ava reports on being programmed on different occasions. Ava demanded what Harris did wasn't his shortcoming, yet he contended that she wasn't to be faulted for her psychological maladjustment, all things considered. Since Ava feared seeing Trip and possibly attacking him once more because of a mind flight, Harris contemplated whether she'd simply remove contact until the end of time. After Harris recommended Trip wouldn't need that, he persuaded Ava to welcome him for a little while. In the town square on Wednesday's Days episode, Channel Dupree conveyed news to Johnny Dimera about the uncalled-for pastry shop closure and how the acting city chairman was pursuing her. Johnny got occupied momentarily by Wendy Shin going in the Salem motel with her short-term sack, yet he turned his consideration back to Chanel and got serious about his excursion to New Zealand. Channel looked for data about Allie Hortons and the new man in her life, so Johnny hesitantly conceded he was perfect. In spite of the fact that Johnny appeared to be stressed over Channel's sentiments, she appeared to be genuinely glad for Allie. Talk went to Johnny's separation with Wendy on Wednesday's DOL show, so Channel contemplated whether Wendy essentially gave him a motivation behind why she picked Trip. Johnny streaked back to Wendy thinking he was still enamored with Chanel and appeared to be torn about whether he ought to spill that. After Trip traded plans with another specialist, he got together with Wendy in their Salem hotel suite on Wednesday's Days episode. Trip and Wendy conceded to being anxious about their most memorable time together, yet they in the long run concluded it didn't need to be amazing since this felt so right. Before Wendy and Trip could raise a ruckus around town, they were interfered with by a call from Bayview. Trip discovered that Ava needed to see him, so Wendy pushed him to go immediately and vowed to be there when he returned. Next on Wednesday's Days episode, Trip got together with Ava at Bayview, so they embraced in a delicate second. In treatment with Marlena Evans, Talia Tracker recognized her heartfelt affections for Channel and got a counsel to converse with her. Before long, Talia intruded on Johnny's discussion with Channel before he could unveil the explanation Wendy unloaded him. Johnny took off in a rush, which allowed Talia an opportunity to catch wind of the pastry kitchen show and confess about her own heartfelt affections for Chanel. Despite the fact that Talia behaved like Chanel would presumably never feel something similar, she proposed perhaps Chanel could inform her as to whether she did. Chanel, out of nowhere, appeared to be unreliable and frightened of discussing this, so she dashed from the town square and left Chanel looking dumbfounded. Back in Marlena's office, Johnny showed up to see his grandmother and needed to converse with her about his heartfelt affections for Chanel. At home, Kayla Johnson assisted Abe Carver with rehearsing his memory cards before Paulina Cost showed up expecting to talk with him. Paulina made sense of the entire circumstance with the pastry shop and how Clint Rawlings was focusing on Chanel as the acting city hall leader. After Paulina pushed Abe to reclaim his situation, Kayla advised him, and obviously thought he was hurrying his recuperation. In any case, Abe needed to help Chanel and provide himself a feeling of motivation, so he consented to continue his mayoral obligations and left Paulina excited. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Abe has a few new difficulties in front of him, so remain tuned. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.